Brian Thompson. And this is Brian's fourth speech out of the Competent Communications Manual. And Brian's objective today is to select the right words and sentence structures to communicate his ideals clearly, accurately, and vividly. He will use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideals, eliminate jargon and unnecessary words, and he's to use correct grammar. The title of Brian's speech today is Kill the Ants Before They Kill You. Let's welcome Brian to the platform.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster, and fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Yes, kill the ants before they kill you. In fact, a writer, Corey Benz, wrote an article entitled Why Ants Rule the World. And he said interesting things in that article. One is that scientists estimate that there are over 20,000 species of ants in the world. And they are everywhere. Except for the highest and coldest places on Earth. Imagine that. They exist everywhere. As a matter of fact, Philip Ward, an entomologist at the University of California at Davis, said that nearly all human language has a word for ant. Therefore, ants can obviously are very popular around the world. And as you know, they can do a lot of damage because of their massive numbers. What massive numbers of ants can do can be very, very destructive. But why do we need to kill the ants before they would actually kill us? Can ants kill you? The answer is yes, because ANTS is an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. That's automatic negative thoughts. They just happen. They're the negative thoughts that just happen. As a matter of fact, Dr. Daniel Amen, a neurologist that is world-renowned, talked about that automatic negative thoughts, ants, can ruin your day, ruin your career, ruin your life. Because they go through your mind. They can have a significant impact on your job, on your daily living, on your life in general. He identified different types of ant species. Just as there are thousands of little ant species, he identified ant species. And one of them is mind reading. There's one. You're looking at me a certain way. You don't like me. Well, anybody could look at anyone anyway, and that doesn't mean they don't like you. As Dr. Daniel Amen says, a person could be looking at you mean because they're constipated. It doesn't mean that they have anything against you. But automatic negative thoughts. Another is fortune telling. Telling the future in a negative way. I know that I am going to flunk that test. I always flunk tests. I know I'm going to flunk that test. Well, when we say that, we end up not studying as hard because we know we're going to flunk it, and then we end up flunking it. Fortune telling, always predicting bad, always thinking negative about the future, is an ant that can take you out. Another is that always or negative thinking. We're all familiar with that one, and perhaps guilty of it. I never get a good job. I never get a good date. I always have problems in this area. I always this and that. Some people can ruin their career and their life because they always start thinking that they always this, never that, and so forth. And that can have impact. The reason why these things can have such impact on us is because of the deep limbic system in our mind. We actually, you may have heard the saying, you are what you think. What we think can impact what we do, and it can impact us to be successful or unsuccessful. Merely our thoughts. And some of our thoughts can really make us plaintive. Yes, we can mourn over negative things that happen to us and stay in a mournful state. Another ant is guilt beatings. When we always beat ourselves up, and I've been guilty of that one as well. I didn't do this good. I didn't do that good. Maybe we did 10 things that were great, but we look at the things that we didn't do that were good, and we beat ourselves up for it. And this wonderful book, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life by Dr. Daniel Amen, he actually mentions 9 different negative thoughts. And some of the others include thinking with your feelings, labeling, personalizing, and blaming. That's important. These different things here are different ways that we might be negative that we need to improve upon. So how do we improve? How do you get rid of ants? You get an anteater. That's what we need. Did you know that an anteater with its big old tongue can flick it 150 times? And they can actually consume 1,000, in fact, several thousand insects in minutes. So that's what we need to do. They even have saber-like claws that can attack as well. That's what we need to do. Now, how do we do that? We train our thoughts to always be positive and hopeful. Anytime negative thoughts come into our mind, we quickly challenge them. Maybe it's not really a negative thought after all. Maybe it's not real after all. It's just something that I need to get rid of. We get rid of negative thoughts and we always think positive. We think hopeful. We allow ourselves to be successful. And we correct those negative thoughts. That writer Corey Benz also said something interesting about ants. He said that they have queens, they have sessions, they have gardeners, they have bandits, they have specialized tools that help them. We need that also. We need people, friends, family, coaches that help us to be successful. That is very important. Interesting, he also said females do all the work in the ant colonies. We need whatever it takes to help us to be successful. And as my favorite book says, have you shown yourself discouraged in the day of distress? Your power will be scanty, in Proverbs. So we do not allow ourselves to be discouraged. And also in Philippians, an important scripture is, whatever things are true, whatever things are chaste, lovable, positive, these are things that we must continue to consider. And by doing this, we will be able to kill the ants before they kill us. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Brian, for delivering such an interesting talk. Ants. Before we go any further, I failed to introduce our guest. We have with us